Hey guys, this is Sahil and welcome to one more awesome episode of Technical Saturday series. And this particular series is something which we are doing since last 16 to 17 weeks. And every single video about Technical Saturday series is based upon some of the technical tools or indicators or even systems or strategies based on which you will be able to have absolute clarity about what it takes for you to become a pro trader, as well as what it takes for you to become pro into technical analysis. Because this particular you can consider this particular series is formed in such a way that if you're someone who is completely unaware about what is stock market, what is technical analysis, what is moving average, RSI, Fibonacci, and any other tools or indicators as well, which we usually follow into our community of the Achievers Club, then you will definitely be able to get that particular knowledge absolutely for free. And first and foremost, if you're someone who is new to our YouTube channel or even on our Facebook page, thank you so much for being into this particular video, and welcome to our YouTube channel and Facebook page as well. And this particular video is going to comprise of one more topic based on RSI itself. And I think I have already shared about this one single statement in the video of RSI itself, that there are a lot of concepts based on RSI which I've learned from my mentors, which I've implemented into my own life. And these are all the concepts which are already being in use by all the members of the Achievers Club as well. So ensure that you are watching this particular video till the end, because this particular video is going to comprise of the concept called as RSI range and RSI range shift, both concepts at the same point of time. Although this particular video can be slightly longer, you can switch to you can consider the speed of this particular video to 1.5x as well, or even you can keep it 1x as per your convenience. And make sure you watch this particular video till the end, because I'm going to give you a lot of examples as well. And based on this particular concept of range shift, and you can consider of this particular RSI range and RSI range shift, this particular concept will actually shift the whole trajectory of who you are as a person, as a trader, and how you trade based on RSI itself. Because in terms of RSI, I've already shared about this particular concept. Let me just share with you this particular thing. In terms of RSI video, like I've already did a long form video on what is RSI, like what is uptrend, downtrend, like conventional and unconventional RSI. So let me take you to the basic of what RSI is all about. So relative strength index, that is something that's an indicator or a tool which is which is going to help us in order to understand the speed of the market, the way we have the speedometer in any of the vehicle, whether it is two-wheelers, four-wheelers, based on which we can determine whether that particular vehicle is in a slow speed, average speed, or even in a fast speed. Similarly, with the help of RSI, we can understand whether that particular stock is bullish, bearish, or it is in an uptrend or a downtrend, or in a sideways, range bound, or a choppy trend as well. So relative strength index, it's like a band from 0 to 100, where like that's the actual band where the speed cannot go below 0 and it cannot go beyond 100. And when it comes to conventional RSI, we have this concept of 70-30, but into our community of the Achievers Club, we usually follow the unconventional RSI that comprises of 60-40 concept, where if the RSI of any of the index specific or any of the stock specific is, if it is below 40, then it is in a downtrend, or you can consider it's in a bearish trend. If it is between 40-60, then it is into a sideways zone. And similarly, if it is beyond 60 till 100, then it is called as uptrend, or you can consider bullish trend as well. That's what the basic differentiation of what that particular thing is all about, whether that particular index, whether it is Nifty 50, Bank Nifty, or any of the indices, or if it's for stock specific as well, whether it is any of the stock from equity, cash, futures, or like anything. It could be any of the stocks as well, any of the indices. And even it is also applicable in terms of cryptocurrencies, currencies, or any other things, because even this is the thing which I have tried into cryptocurrencies as well. Just for the sake of analysis, I have analyzed that. So this is what the basic RSI is all about. And even I have shared this particular concept in previous videos of RSI itself, where if there is a monthly time frame, if we are applying RSI on monthly time frame, that becomes long-term trend. If it is like a weekly time frame, then it becomes medium term trend. And similarly, if it is a daily time frame, then it becomes short term trend. And if you're someone who is if you're someone who is into short term trading, that is hourly and 15 minutes time frame, then for you 15 minutes can become short term trend, hourly time frame can become medium term trend, and daily time frame can become a long term trend for you. So that's what the basic differentiation is all about. And I hope that you are absolutely clear about this particular concept of RSI. And let's quickly jump into what RSI range is all about. Right now, we have discussed that 0 to 40 is downtrend or bearish trend, 40 to 60 is sideways trend, and above 60 till 100, that is an uptrend. But how do we actually diversify like even in you can consider between 0 to 40, how do we actually diversify, right? So if that particular speed, if the speed of RSI for any of the index or stock specific is between 0 to 20, let's consider it is 17, 16, like that particular stock is completely bearish. So what we can call it, we can call it that particular stock or that particular index is completely in a strong downtrend. Similarly, if the speed is between 20 to 40, that is what we call as normal downtrend, or you can consider directly or you can consider directly downtrend as well. Then if it is between 40 60, in sideways zone, we don't have any differentiation. We only have the differentiation in downtrend and uptrend as well. So if it is between 40 60, so it's called as it's called as sideways trend. If it is between 60 to 80, right now we are heading towards the upper side. So if the speed is between 60 to 80, that is called as uptrend. And if it goes beyond 80 till 100, that's what we call as strong uptrend. So that's what this particular basic thing is all about. That's what the basic RSI range is all about. And I hope that you are absolutely clear about this concept as well. And right now, let's go to the main topic of this particular video, that is range shift. And make sure you watch this particular concept of range shift till the end, because even if possible, you can watch twice or thrice, but make sure you are watching this particular video with full attention, because even if you miss out on one single concept, it's going to be the same. But if you understand this particular concept of range shift, then you can definitely capture the bottom and top of any of the stock as well. You heard it right. You can capture actually the bottom and the top, not that exact bottom or exact top, but slightly, you can consider slightly on the upper side in terms of bottom and slightly on the lower side in terms of top as well. So let's have a look at a range shift. We already know that you can consider the bands are between 60 to 40. So let's take an example that if there is any of the XYZ stock, the speed of that particular stock, right now I'm taking the ideal example of daily time frame, because in every single video we have taken this example of daily time frame itself. So on daily time frame, if that particular stock is already below 40, which means it is in a downtrend or it is in a bearish trend. And at that point of time, when it breaks out of 40 on the upper side and it takes 40 support, listen to this carefully. When any of the stock, previously it was sustaining below 40, but right now it broke out of 40 on the upper side and it took 40 support, that is what we call as bullish range shift. This particular, you can consider that particular move is called as bullish range shift. And at this point of time, if we get proper bullish candle, then we can also go for you can consider that we can also go for like a short-term trading for the daily time frame itself. We can actually capture like a smaller move till the time it breaks out of 60. And once it breaks out of 60, then we can actually go for system 3 as well. And that's what this particular basic concept is all about. Previously, I'll repeat it again. When RSI is below 40, that's what we call as downtrend, right? We can also call it like a bearish trend. But from being into bearish trend, it breaks out of 40. Right now, that particular stock is showing strength. And from being into bearish, now it is taking 40 support. From being bearish to now it's mentioning that I'm not so bearish. From being bearish to not so bearish, that particular concept is what we call as bullish range shift. From being bearish to not so bearish is what we call bullish range shift. I know the words are completely opposite, bearish and bullish, but when from being bearish, now you just like, I'll give you basic understanding so that you can understand all these concepts with very ease. Bearish, it is between 0 to 40, right? So from being bearish to not so bearish, right now that particular stock is emerging on the upper side, which means it is showing the bullish strength, right? So that is why from being bearish to not so bearish, now it becomes bullish range shift, right? So let's have a look at some of the examples of it. So at this point of time, the RSI and the price was also moving on the downside, but after that particular certain point of time, it took proper 40 support. Previously, it was sustaining below 40, but after a certain period of time, it took 40 support and then it moved forward on the upper side. And as you can see, almost from the range of 2200 till by the time I took that particular snapshot, and this is from Reliance itself, daily time frame, where it gave that particular drastic move. So even if we don't capture that overall move, but even if we capture 4 to 5 moves, then 2200 till 2300, 400 within a span of 5 to 10 days, right? Similarly, one more example here, slightly it was below 40, and from that point of time, once it gave proper confirmation from being bearish to not so bearish. Similarly, one more example here, it was completely in a consolidation zone, and even here we are having multiple divergences as well, which I'll definitely cover up into upcoming videos, because that is slightly advanced concepts and it will take certain time for me as well in order to share this particular videos, because even if you are unable to understand about the basic concepts, even if I share the advanced concepts, it's not going to make sense. So that particular concept is in my mind that I have to share every single concept in depth so that everybody can understand rather than only the people those are already pro into trading and so on, right? So that's what this thing is all about. And make sure if you are liking this particular video, make sure you like this particular video as well and share this with as many people as possible. So let's consider right now that particular stock was completely below 40 as well, and it slightly came around 40 and it was completely in a consolidation zone, but it did not give any confirmation that from being bearish, now I am not so bearish. Even it was in a consolidation zone, it did not give any confirmation. But once it gave that confirmation that from being bearish to not so bearish, now it's sustained, and from almost 1400 till 1600 within a span of 2.5 months, right? So this can be like a positional trade as well. Similarly, one more example, it was below 40, then it sustained above 40 as well, which is between 40-60, but it didn't took any support, right? But once it took support, it gave proper confirmation, and then from almost the zone of 250 till, you can consider within a span of 4 to 5 days, it also moved till 275, and almost it went till 350 as well. So that's what this thing is all about. One more example here, from being bearish, again it went into a sideways zone, but it didn't took any 40 support. At that point of time, from being bearish, it already went into a sideways zone, but it didn't give any confirmation that I'm not so bearish. Although even previously also it mentioned, but it didn't confirm at that point of time. And after confirmation, it slightly gave like a drastic move from almost 1,800 till almost 2,200 and so on. And on the other side, this was only one concept, that from being bearish to not so bearish, that's what we call as bullish range shift. Similarly, there is one more concept which is exactly opposite of it, which means, let's take an example, that right now RSI of any of that particular stock is already sustaining above 60, which means it is in an uptrend. It is completely bullish, although it can be like completely up, like strong uptrend or a normal uptrend as well. But for this particular concept sake, let's understand that, let's take an example that it is in an uptrend. From being into a bullish trend, right now it is moving its trend on the downside, and it broke down of RSI 60. Previously, few minutes back, I mentioned that it is breaking out. When it is moving on the upper side, it is breaking out. When it is moving on the downside, it is breaking down. From being into bullish to not so bullish, when it is taking RSI 60 resistance. Now it is taking RSI 60 resistance, which means it is mentioning that from being bullish to not so bullish, and this is what we call as, this particular concept is what we call as bearish range shift. From being bullish to not so bullish, now this particular concept is called as bearish range shift. And on the other side, from being bearish to not so bearish, that's what we call as bullish range shift, right? So I hope that you are absolutely clear about this one as well. So let's take one more example here. Like, it was completely sustaining above 60. Even at this point of time, for two green candles, it sustained above 60, but immediately after that point of time, it gave proper confirmation with 60 breakdown as well, proper 60 resistance. And from being bullish, like slightly sideways kind of bullish, but from that point of time, from being bullish to not so bullish, and from almost 84-85 rupees till almost 65 rupees within the span of 10 to 15 days. One more example here, from being bullish to not so bullish, proper 60 resistance in terms of RSI. Then comes one more example, Laura's Lab on daily time frame. From being bullish, it broke down of RSI 60. Previously, it broke down of RSI 60, but it didn't give any confirmation that I am completely not so bullish, right? So then it took 60 resistance in the beginning of May month, and then from that point of time, from rupees 80 till the zone of 65, and this is way, like, you can consider too much from past. Right now, the current market price was around 365 when I took the snapshot. And then comes LIC Housing Finance. One more here example, it was sustaining in an uptrend, forming higher tops and higher bottoms. And I hope that you are now absolutely clear about what is higher tops and higher bottoms, lower tops and lower bottoms and all. So from that point of time, it took proper 60 resistance from being bullish to not so bullish. And then even at this point of time, we can go for option selling as well. And that is also the concept which I'm going to share in upcoming few more videos. Then we have one more example of Tata Steel sustaining above 60 into an uptrend, forming higher tops and higher bottoms. And from that point of time, from being bullish to not so bullish, and then from almost 120 till almost 105 within a span of few months and so on. Right. So I hope that you are absolutely clear about this particular concept about what is RSI range, that is strong downtrend, sideways trend, uptrend, and strong uptrend, and so on. And even you're absolutely clear about what is bullish range shift, what is bearish range shift, and many more concepts which I already shared into this particular video. And I hope that you have got immense value and clarity from this particular concept of RSI itself. And in this particular series itself, in future, I'm going to share many more concepts about RSI. And as I've already mentioned into the RSI video itself, that this is the only tool which I've learned in depth from my mentors, and even they have studied this particular tool in depth. since years they are studying and they are implementing, and even this is one of the tool which I've learned and I'm implementing into my own life. And even all the members of the Achievers are also the Achievers Club are also using this particular concept of RSI itself. RSI range shift, then comes like divergence, class A, B, C, and many more concepts are going to come up into this particular video series itself. So make sure if you like this particular video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow on our Facebook page. And make sure you share your biggest takeaways below this particular video as well. And share this particular video with as many people as possible so that they can also get maximum value from it. And looking forward to see you tomorrow in weekly mastermind session. And there are a lot of new initiatives which I've already mentioned, that in previous videos I've already mentioned that there are a lot of new initiatives. So I'm giving you a smaller hint here that now we are going to start a new initiative, that is our own podcast series as well, where I'll be bringing on a lot of new guests which are actually not just into trading or any other things. You can consider there are many of the guests which are going to come up on that particular podcast show which are not even traders or investors, but they have achieved certain best results into their life, how they have become the best person possible into their own topics, their own expertise, and so on. Those are going to be the guests, and I'm going to be the host for sure. So this is like a smaller hint which I've given, like an early bird hint which I've given to all of you. So make sure you are staying tuned for all those updates as well. And you can consider maximum 1 or 2 weeks is what we are going to give, like a smaller span, because we have to have an interview show with all those, not an interview show, but like a podcast itself, so that we can understand their experience, and we can also get through a lot of new things, a lot of nuggets, and get lots of learnings and lessons from all those guests as well. That's what the main initiative is all about, so that all the members, those who are watching it on our YouTube channel or even on our Facebook page, and if you're watching this on Facebook page, this is not going to be for you, because I'm going to post that particular podcast show exclusively on YouTube channel itself. So you will have to come up to our YouTube channel and subscribe, and then watch those videos as well. And that is going to be based on guest self, and I'll try my best so that we can have one podcast show every single week. It would be somewhere around Tuesday or Wednesday for sure, and that's what this thing is all about. So make sure you're staying tuned and share this particular video with your friends and loved ones, and share your breakthroughs below this particular video. And I'll see you tomorrow with weekly mastermind session. Till then, live fully, love openly, and make the difference today. I wish you joy and abundance in all you do.